Now, if you are like me, full-time property, or you maybe have got a full-time job and you're trying to do property part-time, we've all got to be doing one thing in particular, and that's constantly stacking up and pipelining deals. If you're brand new to property, it means basically stacking up potential deals. It's getting deals that are actually going to be completing in January, February, March, April, May. And so you're constantly being able to actually keep on growing and expanding. Because one thing often people do, like myself sometimes, is you get so fixated on getting a deal over the line, you go, yes, get in, happy days, you feel great. But then you're so focused on the here and now that actually you haven't been keep churning out and lining up more deals in the future. So then you finish your project, you go, brilliant, I'm finished, and then you go, holy moly, I've now got to start that whole sourcing machine again, and that might take you 2, 3, 4 months, and then you've got that void period of no deals. And so therefore it takes longer to get to your postcard, your outcome, your goals. So I'm going to share a few things I've been doing today, because that was my kind of dope moment, and I realised we have been appraising, but it hasn't been hard enough, it hasn't been enough time spent. So today, well actually last night, we were looking at the deals that we've got coming in, and I think we do quite well at finding HMOs, house shares, and then I was thinking actually none of our deals currently are kind of live. Yeah, we've got deals as in we're doing them, but I mean live as in going through solicitors, no deals have been accepted. So we've got some great projects that are being renovated, but let's say February next year we haven't got anything plopping in. So my thought process was review. So if you're currently trying to source, review your strategy, and that's what I did. So tell me, by the way, if you're actually sourcing and looking for property right now, tell me what you're doing. What's your daily method of operation when you're looking for these deals? Because we are actively looking, so we've got searches on Rightmove, Zoopla, we've got Gumtree, so we've got like alerts, maybe like you, for our chosen fields. So you can be specific. Let's say you're looking for commercial stuff, it might be a particular size, a certain type. Maybe you're looking for flips, so maybe it's like sub 100,000, 3 beds in particular fields. So you can do ring fences of stuff. Make sense? So we have those alerts, and we amend them depending on what we're looking for right now. So we're looking for HMOs, we're looking for things we can turn commercial to residential, we're looking for a sub £1 million GDV, gross domestic value. So in our particularly geographical areas. But the thing is, we haven't got many offers in, and we haven't got any deals accepted. So therefore, the pipeline next year is zilch. How many offers have you got in right now? Please do comment. How many offers have you accepted that are currently in solicitors? You're doing better than me, even though we've got some great deals. Now, so today, I just went, right, what do we need to do to increase and wind this up? So we've still actively went through all my agent list. So I went through my phone book, and I reconnected with my commercial agents. Now, commercial agents versus residential agents, I find are different people in terms of education. Commercial agents are far more knowledgeable, far more switched on in terms of just doing deals. Estate agent, typically, anybody can become an estate agent within 24 hours by just walking into a estate agent and saying, have you got any jobs? And so then you could be on that phone to me when I ring into that estate agent saying, can you just tell me about this, the gross internal area or the square footage of this particular building? Could you tell me the relationship? What's the reason that it's selling? What's the background story to the owner? And they'll not give me much detail, or they'll just read through the notes and just regurgitate. Give me a thumbs up if you experience that with traditional residential estate agents. Whereas commercial, I was quite scared 2 years ago having these kind of conversations because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough, because they come out with things like GIA and net internal area and the commercial valuation or the business rates, stuff that I think I didn't really know that we're talking about. So I felt like, ooh, so I was put off. So don't be, because ultimately they want to sell deals. So don't let that put you off. What I like about commercial agents is they are so driven and focused on the outcome, which is getting the sale, that they actually want to help you too. And so with that in mind, I mean, they'll normally tell you what offers have already been in. They'll tell you what the person's actually will take, even if it's 20 grand or 30 grand below the asking price, because ultimately they just want to do a deal. And yes, they've got the agent, they're working on behalf of the seller, typically, but they'll normally give you just as much detail as possible. So like commercial premises, they've typically got asbestos surveys done, so they'll give you surveys. They'll give you fantastic floor plans, typically. Whereas residential, 9 times out of 10, do you normally get floor plans with your house sale that's going through? I don't. You then got to flip and sort it out. So I'm kind of going off a tangent. The reason I'm telling you that is, so today I started reconnecting with our agents because we kind of gone off the boil. So form relationships, I take my good agents out for coffees, lunches, and just to reconnect, because then that's a good relationship. Do you? And don't let the knowledge that they've got and maybe you've got less put you off, because everybody's got to start somewhere. Every master was a disaster. Make sense? So, and they didn't, before they went to university, have hardly any knowledge properly. So, and they might have just graduated. So please do use commercial agents. They are good. They do sell residential properties now and again too. And you can also convert commercial to residential if it's in the right areas. So do consider that. But the thing I did today, and James went out today, we went separate patches. We went out and we started actually I just drove around, and I was looking for things that I thought I could turn into my chosen product, which is typically HMOs or flats. And so that was set up today was basically, if we saw maybe a care home that looked a bit run down or an abandoned building, I immediately got onto my admin in the office, and I immediately told them the address, and then they were doing some research in the office while I was out trolling the streets. Now, if you haven't got an admin assistant, you could just basically jot down all of them and then do it when you got home. And so, in terms of the council, some of them, it turns out some of them are council owned, and actually they're on their asset disposal list. Ka-ching! That might be in your area too. So then you could connect with them and find out how you can help the council. It might be another one today. It was actually turned out it was a deceased estate 2 years ago, and nothing had happened with it. So we're already on to the solicitors who are handling that case. Ka-ching! All this stuff has not been on Rightmove or Zoopla. Makes sense? Just from trolling the streets for half a day. I even had my trainers on. That's committed, but actually didn't even get out of the car. I literally drove around the streets. But remember, I'd picked an area that I knew that I wanted to target, and I spent a good chunk of time just constantly recording down. And I had my Google Maps out, working out the address, getting the data back home in the office, and the office then doing the research. But you could do it too. So, and also keep going. If there's a barrier, let's say it turns out there's a deceased estate, then you go, well, who is the deceased estate? How do I find out? Who do I need to speak to? Where do I need to go for the information? What's next? And so some land registries we paid for, some we didn't. Some were council. Some were having to do a few multiple stages of contacts. Speak to Frank, and then you speak to Frank, speak to Bob. Or even so, for sale to let, handmade sign on an office. Was that on Rightmove and Zoopla? I don't think so. That's because I was driving around just looking. So when was the last time you actually got out of your office, got out of your chair, and spent a good amount of few hours in an area just looking? If you see if you're maybe not looking for as big a project as I am. I'm looking for basic blocks of flats and care homes and development sites. Maybe you're looking for a flip. So why not just look for houses that look run down or abandoned, and then find out who owns them, or if it looks like a rental property, then on the land registry, the owner will be there. It'll be on the title deeds. So there we go. So that's what I've been doing today to increase my potential pipeline of deals. So that though, the time today doesn't mean I'm going to get a deal tomorrow. Make sense? So tomorrow I'll be appraising. So I viewed some stuff today, so appraising, putting offers in, but they might not come live until January or February next year. Some might not come back till June next year. And that making is this. The work you do now will be potentially not for getting you stuff tomorrow. You're pipelining it for later, and you might get rejections now, which might get accepted later. Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense and giving you a kick at the butt, which you might need just to get going. You got to do this weekly. You got to do this daily if you really want to get the pipeline of deals going, so you can get the outcomes and the deals. And they'll be like buses. So you've got a dry spell now, and I know if I keep doing this for the next few weeks, they're going to be plopping in for January, February, March, April next year, when I need them, because I've got enough projects now. Yes? So where are you right now? What are you doing? Okay? And so for that, get going and have multiple channels of lead generation, and I've shared some inside tips of what I'm doing. Make sense? So please do reach out if you want it or want to find out more about the Rent to Rent Masterclass. I give you all the resources that you need. I give you all the free content to get you started. And also you get to ask anything you want on my business model, and I give you the simple steps to source, set up, negotiate, and we do live rehearsal in the room, and we also look at deals. Now I had a mentee today, fantastic guy, up in the northeast, starting Rent to Rent, and in the mentoring session, face to face, 1 hour, we actually found a great opportunity. He's in front of the landlord tomorrow. It's right next to a hospital. Super excited for him, and it looks like it's going to be a corker with lots of en suites, big house, and that was through the mentorship. So excited for him. He went away buzzing. So please do reach out. Please do tell me what you've been up to. Tell me what you've been pipelining. Please do share this if you found it of value. That's all I ask. And I'll keep churning more of this out. Please do comment. There you go. Thanks for watching. If you like this stuff and you want to see more, there's more videos just right there. And every single week I post brand new content for you about how to become a property investor or developer. All I ask is subscribe so you can see this every week, and like and comment. But if you also want to see me on other channels, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn are right below, so click on there too. Look forward to seeing you real soon face to face. Take care.